Well, thank you so much. Michelle and I are really excited to get to host this today. It's been a long time coming, and we're just really excited about the platform offerings that we are going to showcase. So in our virtual orientation session today, we have a little agenda we'll share. So we're going to talk about what Teaching Channel is, and what the Teaching Channel and KDP partnership is and what that looks like. We are going to highlight how you, as members, can easily log in to KDP's single sign-on portal and access your free subscription to Teaching Channel, which we're really excited about you utilizing. We are going to talk about how you can search for videos within our video library. And then we're going to have a chance to watch two focus videos, one of which is going to focus on classroom management, which many of you guys can attest to if you're new teachers or novice teachers, that is a skill set that is highly regarded and something that's always important to learn and improve as you grow as a teacher. And then we're also going to watch a video that focuses on English learner students. We are going to talk about how you as members can utilize the video library and watch videos for professional development credits. And we'll have a goodie that you guys, a link that you can access and utilize yourself. Then lastly, we are going to end with how to self-upload a video of yourself for self-reflection and how that can really impact your teaching practice and improve your personal skills in some unique ways. And then finally, we'll wrap up with some questions so that you guys can have a chance to share out and learn from one another. And it's just really exciting to see that we have viewers from all over the country, and teachers and novice teachers and new teachers and members. So thank you again.
Hey, Alexa, can I interrupt for a second? We're seeing some black boxes on your screen from the screen share. Are those showing on your side?
They are not showing on my side. Let me see. Let me exit out and then I'll reshare. Are you still seeing the boxes?
Yeah, just a couple of, it's like when you do a window, it just makes a black box, I think, when there's a drop down. So are there any drop downs showing on your screen?
No, I don't have any drop downs.
Or your Zoom controls, maybe?
Is that better?
No, there's still a... Okay, that's better.
Is it? Okay, great. We'll go ahead and get started and hopefully you can see most of what we're going to share today. So first up, what is Teaching Channel? So as stated, we are a video and coaching platform and reflection platform. So we host over 1,600 videos of best-in-class videos of teachers all around the country. We got our start back in 2013, and so we have a really fantastic library of videos that show different techniques and practices that you can learn from. We are very proud of the fact that post-COVID world, we've been able to get into districts all over the country yet again to capture new footage and really highlight some topics that are continuing to grow in the teaching practice. Our videos host short clip videos that can be anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. So those of you that are busy teachers and have a lot going in your lives but want to be able to still learn can watch them and highlight and hone in on a specific skill set. The short clips often also interview a teacher, and so it reflects, the teacher reflects on what they're teaching or what technique they're using. And then we have what are called uncut videos, or full-length videos. And those are a lesson that is from the start to the end. So you get to see all the nitty-gritty details of that lesson. You get to learn how a teacher transitions, how they utilize questioning, how they manage the classroom, and then even some exit questions as well. So those can be lengthier videos. They can be anywhere from 20 minutes to 60 minutes. And so those are really nice if you're a teacher maybe that wants to be able to get into classrooms and learn from other teachers, but maybe just don't have the availability, or your district isn't able to provide subs. And then finally, our platform also hosts a self-recorded feature where you can upload your own video of you teaching and then annotate it for self-reflection. So we're going to demo that later today as well. So what is Teaching Channel and the KDP partnership? So as I mentioned, with your KDP membership, you get free access to Teaching Channel, which is such a fantastic partnership that we've developed together. So you simply just need to use your KDP login credentials, and then you can log into our platform that hosts all of those great features that we're going to demo here for you today. KDP values teacher growth, and that is exactly what Teaching Channel stands for as well. And Teaching Channel values KDP's mission, which is to inspire and equip teachers to thrive. So at the end of the day, that is what our goal is as a partnership. We want to be able to put tools in your toolboxes so that you can be the best educator and teacher that you can possibly be by learning from other people all around the country that have years of experience or maybe have made mistakes and learn from those mistakes as well. And it's just a way for you to connect in an asynchronous digital way. So I'm Michelle. I appreciate you doing some introductions. We'll kind of introduce ourselves one more time here, but my name is Alexa Simon. So I'm an engagement team lead here at Teaching Channel. Just so you know, I was a former teacher. I taught kindergarten for 7 years in a public school in Minnesota and just absolutely loved it. I also have been fortunate enough to work in some preschool centers and do some professional development there, and then was also a content writer for an online school. So I've dabbled in lots of things, all education related, and I just look back on my teaching practice, and I didn't have access to Teaching Channel when I was first starting out as a new teacher. And when I started working for the company, I just really found the value in it and realized how impactful it could have been in my teaching practice, specifically when I was starting out, but also later years of my teaching practice too, because there's so many times where maybe you're just struggling with a certain idea. Maybe it's just how do you continue to grow family rapport within your classroom, or how do you kind of pull in some of those students that maybe their engagement isn't as high later in the year. So whatever the topic is, I'm confident that our platform has it for you. And so that's just what's really powerful about what we offer. And Michelle, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi. Yes, I'm Michelle Milani. I am the Director of Knowledge Integration at KDP, and I've probably talked to you or emailed with you, a lot of you that are joining us. And I am for KDP members, I am your primary contact at KDP for your Teaching Channel experience. So if you have any questions, you need any help, anything like that, contact me at my email is michelle@kdp.org. And Alexa, one bit of housekeeping. I have been told that the black boxes that we see on your screen are Zoom controls. So if you can just make sure that any Zoom windows or controls or anything are minimized or slid off to the far side of the screen, I'm told that that will help keep them off the screen that you're sharing. So
That is good to know. Thank you. Let's see if I can minimize my screen. Does that help? Does that seem to fix it?
So right now there's one box at the top, but I'm not sure what else we can do about it at this point. Yeah, right there. Okay. That was a box. And you got it. You made it.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Now we're good.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get to the nitty-gritty fun details. How do you get to Teaching Channel so that you can utilize this awesome, fantastic platform that we're going to talk deeper about? So I have some screenshots, and then I'm actually going to open the window and show you step by step how to do that. But it's just as simple as going to the main homepage of KDP. At the top, you'll notice a drop down that says Teaching Channel Resources. You're just going to select Teaching Channel from there. You're going to scroll down and select Access Teaching Channel. And then, as mentioned, you're just going to type in your KDP credentials and membership login information, and then you have access to our video library. So nice and simple. So again, I'll go ahead and show you from the KDP main homepage. So going to communitykdp.org, clicking on Teacher Resources, and then selecting Teaching Channel from the dropdown. Scrolling all the way down till you see that really fun green button that turns yellow. You select Access Teaching Channel. It will open up that single sign-on for you to use. Once you use those login credentials, it will take you to the Teaching Channel homepage, which will look like this. And you'll know that you're logged in if you see that Teaching Channel symbol on the top left, if you also see the KDP logo next to it. And then most of you will just have initials for your profile. You can simply, once you log in, that's the fun part, you get to make your own profile. So you can select the pencil and gear icons and choose a photo of your choice, update your name if need be. And then you can even fill out some personal account information. And it's really neat because it creates kind of an online environment. You can learn about other KDP members that are within the custom site as well, and get to know and introduce yourself and kind of get to know people around the country that are in teaching as well. Okay, so how to search for videos. So again, I'll just show you the screenshots and then I'll go into the actual platform and demo it for you. But again, it's really simple. When you are in those black boxes, when you are in the Teaching Channel portal, you're going to click on this video tab at the top, and then it's going to take you to the video library. From there, you can search for videos using a keyword, or you can type in specific filters. So if we jump over to the platform, you can see I'm on my home page. From there, if I select videos at the top of my screen, it's going to take me to the video library. So I like to kind of think of this like a YouTube of sorts or a Spotify of sorts that houses videos, but all of our videos have been vetted, professionally shot in classrooms around the country, and then edited and perfected just for your use, for your professional development. So you can see that there's over 1,600 videos that are populated right off the bat for me. So I can just type in any word that I would like, a specific keyword. So I'll use the chat right now. Is there a topic offhand that if you were to go into Teaching Channel right now and you were to search for a video, what would you be really curious about watching? SEL, social emotional learning, climate change, any other topics? Special education, ed tech, classroom management, probability. Wonderful. I am going to type in social emotional learning, or SEL. So if I hit submit, then you can see that it filters it out, and now there's 10 videos that populate for me. So that filter tool is really powerful. One thing I'll also mention that can be helpful is sometimes just using different words. So if I were to type in social emotional instead of SEL, now 314 videos populate. So just kind of a fun fact or something for you to utilize as you're exploring the platform. I can also select specific topics using a drop-down. So maybe I'm looking for videos that talk about social emotional learning and in a distance learning situation. It further filters it down. I can also use subject areas, and I can further filter by a specific grade that I'm looking for. All right, so nice and simple. So that's something that obviously you guys can get started with as soon as you want. It's just as simple as logging into the KDP portal and exploring videos of your choice. So let's dive into some focus videos. So the first video that I'm going to show for you guys today has to do with classroom management. So it's one of my favorite videos that I have in our library. You'll notice as you dive in and start watching videos, there's certain videos that really just stick out to you. You know, for me personally, having been a former kindergarten teacher, I love the early childhood videos because it kind of brings back that moment when I was in the classroom, and I can relate to it in a sense. And obviously you're going to connect with those videos that speak to your heart or speak to what you're currently doing as a teacher as well. So as we watch this classroom management video, in the back of your mind, be thinking about these two questions, and then we're going to come back and do some more Q&A time and chat time where you guys can respond to these questions. But as we watch this classroom management video, first be thinking about how did the teacher demonstrate effective management strategies? And then secondly, I want you to think about what other positive strategies have you used in regards to classroom management. So that's what I often do when I go into our video library and I watch videos, is I have a critical eye. I think about how can I relate to that teacher? What are some ideas that I can take away from that teacher? I also think about what are ways that I can kind of tweak it and put it into my own practice.
Super Scholar style in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Eyes over here. Swab eye.
Classroom management is so important. And I think that anytime you can embed any academic content in classroom management, It's really beneficial for students.
Okay, today for word of the day.
We transition by naming a word of the day, a root word that we've been studying, or it might be a word from our social studies unit. Something content-based that I want students to hear again and again and again until it's just imprinted in their memory.
Daniel is going to choose our word of the day. 3, 2.
I would want quixotic.
I'm sorry?
Quixotic.
Oh, quixotic.
Today's word of the day was quixotic, a particularly difficult one.
When you're seated like a scholar. And you're
Once we've selected that, we use that as a transition from our desks to the carpet.
Word of the day is quixotic.
We'll define the word and use that repeatedly throughout the day. Our word of the day means impractical. Quixotic is a great word. It comes from this book that you're going to read as a high schooler, as a college student, called Don Quixote. And believe it or not, there's a guy in it who fights windmills, which is sort of funny and not very practical. It's a really valuable opportunity to really have a word sort of marinate in their minds. You can build on the word throughout the day to ensure that students are getting comfortable with its sound and its meaning. Impractical. I say, you say, impractical.
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 So when you hear that word of the day that means impractical, you're going to head to your desk. Quixotic. It's also a great management tool because oftentimes as a teacher, when we give directions, students want to already start when we're only halfway done with the directions.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
At this point, it is definitely time for science. When I say the word of the day, if your pencils are writing, they need to stop. If your eyes are not on me, you need to swivel. Very nice, thank you. When I say the word of the day, we're gonna put our materials away.
It's signal to them that we don't do anything until Miss Noonan says the word of the day.
Oh! Quixotic.
It's a nice management technique and also a great vocabulary builder. Another way we transition is through a grab bag quiz.
I'm going to dismiss you in your groups. In order to get back to your group, you need to answer a grab bag quiz question. I am looking for the capital of a state in the Mid-Atlantic region, Maryland. Adeline,
The capital of Maryland is Annapolis.
how do you feel about that class? Let's see Raven, Pop head back to their desks. Let's see how they do. I like how they're walking really quietly.
I'll think of a question that we've already covered, be it geography, math, science, reading, and ask students to answer that.
I see the red folders coming out. Awesome. Eyes back up here. Looking for what 1/3 is as a percent. Daniel, your hand just shot up. Nice try.
1/3 of the percent is 33%.
How do you feel about that class? Seeing a lot of agreement?
So here, as opposed to just sending students to their desk en masse, it allows them to go in small groups and model for their peers what a good transition looks like.
I'm looking for a group that could tell me, if you were alive in colonial times, would you go to school in a schoolhouse or would you go to school somewhere else? Christopher.
2, the way you release them is content-based. So it's incentives for kids and their groups to really be focused throughout the day because they never know what that transition question is going to be.
For the final dismissal, we're just gonna head down to the southwest. I'm wondering what the capital of New Mexico is.
The capital of New Mexico is Santa Fe.
How do you feel about that?
It's something that makes it more meaningful and more memorable to them as a student. So anytime I can build that into our management system, it's really powerful for their learning and their growth as a scholar.
So a couple really powerful classroom management techniques were utilized in this video. I would love to hear from each of you. What did you take away or what did you notice? Anyone? Feel free to put it into the chat. Yeah, embedding content within the classroom, absolutely, right? So who says that getting kids' attention can't also teach them things at the same time? Yeah, focusing on the curriculum and not the misbehaviors. Absolutely. I love the approach of positive interventions, right? Making sure that the focus is not on things that are distracting, but the things that are positive, because positive shines light on more positivity, and it kind of is that trickle down effect, right? When other students see students doing a really good job, they want to jump in line and join in on that fun. Yeah, Miss Noonan ensures students are ready to receive her directions. Absolutely. Word of the day kept students engaged and focused on content and behavior in a positive way. Absolutely. Yeah, she created a really safe environment, but also encouraged students to speak up. So kind of coming over to question 2, what other positive strategies have you used within your own teaching practice? I'd love to hear from that. I know that we have a ton of knowledge across the nation. And so, obviously we were able to focus on a couple strategies that Miss Noonan used. But what have you done in your own teaching practice, or maybe heard of other teachers doing or read about that you have taken away and really wanted to implement or put into your own practice? Again, go ahead and feel free to put those in the chat. I'll give a little bit of wait time. Yeah, encouraging students to stay curious and ask questions. That's another really great way to encourage classroom management. With really little kids, Anne has said, repeat after me. If you're ready to go, raise your hand or touch your head. Absolutely. I look back when I was a teacher, using songs and rhyme, getting them to physically move in any way that you can. There's those little things that can make it exciting to follow along, is a really positive and wonderful way to get classroom management. Embedding technology tools, Kahoot and quizzes, absolutely. Positive reinforcement with positive words, absolutely. Peer modeling, definitely. Great ideas, you guys. Okay, so we have one more video that we are going to watch. So this one, as I mentioned, focuses on English language learners. It is titled Building a School Culture Within a Community Circle. So again, as we watch this video, in the back of your minds, be thinking about these questions. 1, how does the community circle support English as a second language or English learners? And then question 2 is, how would you tweak maybe this technique so that you could utilize it within your own classroom? So we'll go ahead and dive into this video. As you'll notice, that first video that we watched was around 5 minutes. So that's an example of a short clip video. This video as well is going to be 4 minutes. And as I stated, I love how our videos focus a little snippet within the classroom. So you get to kind of see a taste of what the teacher is doing, but then it also highlights the teacher and interviews the teacher talking to. So you get a little bit of both, which is really lovely.
Morning, Julio. Hey, Fernando. Hey, Carlos.
One way that we build community at our school is through a weekly community circle.
So let's get started.
Really, the focus is on having a positive and joyful environment.
If you see this guy is connected to the river.
Several homerooms and their teachers come together, and we do a variety of activities and celebrations.
In my opinion, community circle is like a way to build a big, strong community.
We express our feelings and we celebrate all our work.
If we have a problem, we always try to find a solution.
And we can show how we are growing together and how can we improve.
So happy to see you guys here at Community Circle today. We have a lot of exciting things to do and some surprises.
One of the pillars of our model is providing socio-emotional supports for students, as well as academic and linguistic supports, because our students are all coming new to the country, and this is a new environment, new culture. So we want them to feel supported and feel part of a community, a strong community.
We're gonna have some student representatives share what they've done in Elevated Thought all year. Let's give them some snaps.
We usually start by going through the calendar, what's coming up in the next 2 weeks, and then we also build in opportunities to showcase student work, things that they've been doing in school, academically, or out of school.
We work as a team, but mostly we learn how to inspire us to create a painting. Are in front of the people, we showing courage and perseverance because it's very hard and not everyone can stand up in front and talk like to the people like it's nothing.
We came to the idea the mural can be about humans connect to life and to their environment cities. I was feeling very nervous, but it was good because I was thinking that they can see what I am doing and they can be inspired.
Now, we're gonna do something a little bit different from Community Circle. We want to shout out and celebrate some of your teachers, and I know some of you guys have worked really hard to help make that happen. We're going to start with Celine. Celine, can you come join us up here, please? You ready? Loud and proud.
Dear Mr. Mobley, thank you for helping me when I have problems in the class.
We also spend time doing celebrations. We have celebrations of our students, celebrations of our teachers, and really recognizing positive things that are happening.
Dear Mr. Stevenson, I want to say that thank you for always trying to help me. Enlace community is represented by the community circle because when I arrived to Enlace, I thought that Enlace only was an academy for learn English, but not is only this, it's also an academy that shows to you how you can use your values.
Thank you for being a special teacher throughout all this year. I met new people and they shows me I can feel more comfortable. So now I'm in Community Circle and I don't think they are strangers. I talk them as my classmates and as my friends, so I know I can participate.
So I think one piece of advice that I would give schools that are thinking about starting Community Circle is give students more and more ownership of it as the year goes on. I think makes them more and more invested in the community.
I love that video because talking about social emotional learning, right? It touches a little bit on supporting English learners academically, but more so just the community and making them feel connected. And I think we as all teachers can attest that if students aren't connected and they don't feel supported, they're not going to learn, right? So those two kind of go hand in hand. So I just think this video is really powerful because it showcases that and makes sure that we put emphasis on supporting students emotionally as well as academically. So kind of coming back to those questions, how does the Community Circle support ESL students? Even though I've kind of answered that question a little bit for you, but curious if anyone else has a different view or lens on it. And again, go ahead and share in the chat. Cindy has said, I like that the presentations were from students about their teachers. Absolutely, you're building that rapport, right? Michelle said, words that stood out to me were told by the students were perseverance, impact, and inspire. Absolutely. Those are really incredible words, powerful words, and encourages leadership with students and presentations, which those are lifelong skills. Absolutely. Students can connect with others. They can share in maybe that nervousness and then that joy after they present to their peers. It's student-led, definitely. And we know the basis for engagement is when you get students to do it themselves and to take that ownership. It felt positive. Avalon said it elevates ESL students and provides a space where they will be celebrated and supported with positive affirmations. Absolutely. Joan has said the students are supported by their peers so that they have the courage to come up and present in front of everyone. Yeah, so it's about supporting one another and building each other up. Inclusion in their educational environment. Yeah, students are empowered through the presentations. It says, let's see, Brittany said they enjoyed being able to open up and be honest and sharing their positivity with their teachers, which allows them to be rewarded. Yeah, and it's a place for them to problem solve and respect one another. Absolutely. some really great thoughts, you guys. And then second question is, how could we tweak this technique for your own classroom? So obviously this is, encompassing several classrooms, an entire group of students, but is there a way that you can think of how you could tweak this and put it into your own classroom for maybe a smaller group or a smaller audience? Laura said this could definitely be used as a Friday wrap up. Absolutely. You could make this a routine, right? A way to exit out the week or even to exit out a specific lesson each day. And said, I remember giving out sparkles in my 3rd grade classroom, giving a shout out to someone that they appreciate. Just saying the word sparkles makes me happy. That's great, Anne. Brittany said, include more than just teachers, then introduce all staff members as part of their community. Yeah, it's a great way that they can start to feel connected with people beyond just their teacher. You can bring in the principals, vice principals, social workers, speech language pathologists, any of those support staffs that are within the school, and it just continues to build that community and rapport. Monday motivations to include students, absolutely. Monthly awareness in the classroom. Yeah, so there's lots of different ways to include this. We brain breaks, absolutely. It says Deborah said in our school we had circles every morning for homeroom and we wrapped up the weeks on Fridays. So yeah, during that circle time, during calendar time, right away in the morning, definitely. There's never a bad time to support students and make them feel connected. Thanks everyone for sharing that. Okay, so as we move on, one of the other topics we wanted to talk about is how do you get PD credits with Teaching Channel videos? So not only can you self-dive into these videos for your own continuous growth, but how do you get even more out of it so that you can continue to get your licensure and renew that licensure within the several years that you need to do that. So one of the things that we have documented here, and I'll have Michelle drop it in the chat for you guys, is this reflection report. So it's just a nice example. This isn't something you have to use to get PD. You could certainly come up with your own reflection report, but what it simply is just putting your name, a date of completion, writing out the video that you watched, the total time that you spent watching it, and then reflecting on it, and then answering some questions and reflecting about it. And then ultimately what you would do with this report is you would submit it to your district professional development director, the person that's responsible for submitting those hours. So they would obviously have to approve of it, but this is just one example of a way that you can use this video library for your own growth, but then also get those PD hours out of it. One of the things that I've really found is that districts love having this initiative because you're finding things that fit within your own classroom. A lot of times if you sit in staff meetings, sometimes some of the topics pertain to you, maybe not so much, or don't impact you as much, where these videos you can self-find on your own. They speak to something that you are practicing in the moment. So you're learning from it, and then you're also able to reflect on that and submit that. And then how do you self-upload a video? So again, I have some screenshots here just to kind of show, and then I'm going to go into the platform itself and show you how to do it. But it's as simple as going to your dashboard. On the left-hand side, there's going to be a button that says My Resources. From there, there's going to be a tab that says Add a Resource, and then you can upload a file, most likely an MP4 file from your computer, and then put it into the platform. So as we dive into the platform itself, you'll notice that if I'm on a video screen, as you can see here, clicking on that top left logo will bring me back to my homepage. I can also toggle over my profile icon and select homepage to get back to this main spot. Then on the left-hand navigation, if I scroll all the way down to where it says My Resources, this I like to think of kind of like a Google Drive or a briefcase of sorts just for you. So all of these resources are just for you to view. Nobody else in the organization can see them. You can see that I can click Add a Resource, so that big yellow button. I can choose a file from my computer. So again, that MP4 file, if this is a briefcase of sorts or a Google Drive folder of sorts, you can certainly link in URLs to websites or blog articles, and kind of just make it a resource hub for yourself as well. But in speaking terms of uploading a video, just for your demo, I'm going to just choose any video from our library, and I'm going to attach it. Then you'll notice that this video populates down below. Another really cool thing is I can create custom folders. So if I want to save teaching channel videos or upload my own videos of classroom techniques, management techniques, for instance, that I'm doing, I can create that folder here, classroom management. I can title it, and then you'll see that the folder populates, and then I can drag and drop any of those resources that I've uploaded and put it into custom folders. So a second here. There we go. So lots of customization that can happen. When I click on a video, so specifically a video rather, this is where I can annotate it. So I'm going to go ahead and just mute it, and I'll kind of skip through the video, but I can add a note, and then I can update the timestamp, and I could say, notice how I used hand gestures. And I could finish that statement, and I could annotate the video for myself for self-reflection. And then maybe I come back to the video in a month's time or a year's time, and I look at the video again, and I can reflect on something that I did and maybe some growth that has happened. Another really cool thing is within your chapters, if you have chapter leaders and you want feedback from them, you can certainly upload a video of yourself, annotate it, and share it with chapter leaders or co-teachers that are within your school or whoever it is that you want some feedback from. And they can provide some insight for you too. The notes are just for yourself, so you would personally have to leave those timestamp notes, but that's something if you're meeting one-on-one in person with somebody, you can get that collaborative feedback and add it there. So again, just a really powerful tool that you can use within the platform. And then finally, why should you self-upload a video? So why is self-reflection important? Those of you that have done your certification, a lot of times there was a requirement for you to upload a video and to annotate it and receive scores. So maybe some of you are familiar with that process. Maybe some of you that are veteran teachers, this is completely new to you and maybe sounds a little overwhelming or scary at times. But why should you care about uploading a video of yourself? Why should you care about looking at a video and annotating it or analyzing it? I always like to give this analogy that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but think of a video worth 10 times that, right? So if you look at a picture, you might, let's say it's a picture of a park, you might notice that the grass is really green, or that the tree has a lot of leaves on it, or that the person sitting on the bench has a cute scarf, right? But if you watch a video, you're not just getting one timestamp, you're getting an entire length of a video of moments just like that to capture and to take away from it. So a lot of times when I speak with other teachers, they might share a video or they might watch a video thinking that they're going to take away a social emotional learning concept, but instead they're watching the video and they notice that they really love the chart paper that's on the wall, or they really love how the teacher has organized the desks within their classroom or the centers that they're using. So that's what's really powerful about video is you can take so much away from something and maybe learn something unexpected in the making of it. So, and then finally, just the collaboration and feedback with mentors or co-teachers or a spouse or a friend or whoever it is. So don't shy away from using that feature because it really can be powerful in your own teaching practice.
Alexa, could you show us how to share that with a mentor or another member of Teaching Channel?
The video, yes. So that's the only thing is at this point, it's a feature. I will say it's a feature that we're rolling out in the new in the future. But right now, the only way to share a video is if you're sitting next to a mentor or a specific teacher colleague and sharing the video with them as you're sitting next to them. So but that is something that we're definitely looking into rolling out, having a button that you can actually click and then share it out and email it to a friend or a peer and get that feedback asynchronously. Great question, Michelle.
We had a question in the chat I wanted to call to your attention. Someone asked, Benford Hicks asks if they're currently unemployed and don't have a district to submit the Form 2 for PD credit, how can they watch the video and get the credit?
Absolutely. So each state has its own licensure department. And so what I would highly recommend is that you reach out to at the state level and to keep your license up. So for instance, in the state of Minnesota, it's every 5 years that we have to keep our licensure up. So as you get closer to that and you approach that deadline, if you're not currently employed or in a district that manages the PD for you, reach out to at the state level to the person that can get you certified and approve that. And they should be able to help you and support you with that. So yeah, that document can certainly be used for that licensure as well. Great question. Any other questions? No? Well, I just want to say thank you guys again. We really, we're just so excited to have everybody here. We hope that you took away some tools, as I said, for your toolbox and things that you can utilize in your own teaching practice and within your chapters. And again, our mission is just to help teachers thrive and be the best they possibly can be. So I hope that this free resource and obviously KDP is just there for you and there to support you and make you the best person that you can be.
Yes, thank you, Alexa. This was so informative. I do see a couple more questions coming in on the chat. And it's okay and ask at this point about putting them here or the Q&A. You can put them either place. I think we can keep up. So Avalon asked, I am a substitute teacher, but have my teaching license. Would I submit the PD proof to the state?
So if you're in a district, you would go to your district PD. Because that's just an easier course of action. If you're not currently employed, then go to the state. Does that help answer? Great.
Cindy Campbell asked, will you likely have the ability for sharing URLs from videos created?
No, that's a really good question. Unfortunately, the URLs will not work if they're not a KDP member. So it's only for your viewing. We do have individual subscriptions. So if there are, colleagues within just your district that you're working with and they want to be able to utilize this and see the videos and you want to share the URLs, they would just need an individual subscription rather. And you can go to teachingchannel.com and access those.
Thank you. And if they wanted to share with somebody who was also a Teaching Channel member or KDP member, then they could share the URL of a video. So say we've got a mentee and a mentor teacher, they're both KDP members, they can share URLs to videos with each other?
Yes, absolutely. And I can even share, I'll just share my screen one more time just to show you how to pull that URL. But yes, if it's KDP member to KDP member, you can absolutely share those videos. So again, if you come to the video library tab and you select any video, you'll notice in the search bar, a URL populates. So simply copy that URL and send that out to another KDP member and they can watch it. And all they need to do is just log in using their KDP credentials.
Awesome. I see someone else. Oh, I seem to have lost that question. What if you're a member with an IA? Could you allow them to watch under your account while you're overseeing? So I think you addressed that before, didn't you, Alexa?
Yes. Yep. So, when we were talking about the resource page itself, if you have a video, a Teaching Channel video or a video of yourself and someone's sitting right next to you and they want to provide you feedback, certainly you can absolutely have them support you in that way. But yes, if they're wanting to independently search the library and watch videos on their own, then they would need their own subscription.
Thank you. Okay, so some other questions I'm seeing in the chat are, will you be able to watch the recording of this session again? Yes. For everyone that registered for this, I will be within a couple of days, I will send out an email with a link to the Zoom recording so you can watch it again. Then we have, okay, so Janice has asked, she's an active KDP member and is interested in joining a chapter in Virginia. Which one could I join? Janice, I'm going to have our membership director get back to you offline on that because he can tell you exactly how to get connected with a chapter or a state chapter. Thank you, Deborah. She loves KDP. Can members film a video to be considered for usage on the KDP channel? So I think what they're asking is to film a classroom video that would be, yes, within KDP's instance of teaching channel, I believe we can do that, right?
Yes, so one feature that we didn't talk about, but something that Michelle and I have said that it would be fun to do a second webinar, and we can talk more about what a feature called Teams that you guys have access to, but that would be something we could definitely look into, Michelle, is if there's videos that members would like to be able to share with other members. Is that what I'm hearing, right? We'd have to kind of figure out a vetting process, but that would be a really neat way to connect other members with one another as well using the Teams feature. So definitely a great question and food for thought, and something we can think about sharing and hopefully maybe doing another webinar with.
Yep. Thank you. How do you focus? So Anne asked, how do you focus on both following the curriculum and working with students? I have difficulty remembering the content and knowing how to teach it to the students, not just the lesson plan. So
yeah, so to kind of rephrase that, how do you focus on both following the curriculum and working with students? I think that is a great question all teachers probably are challenged with within their teaching practice. I think it's just a give and a take and a balance. I think you get better at it the more that you teach and the more comfortable you become with it. But for me personally, I always just kind of led with student comes first. And if they're emotionally doing well and feeling supported, then the curriculum falls into place too. And I think when it's new curriculum, it's hard, but the more that you teach it and over the years, it becomes second nature too. So.
Someone asked if both members are KDP members, if both parties are, can they share the recording? And yes, the answer to that is yes. If both people are KDP members and have access to Teaching Channel, it doesn't matter which state they reside in, you can share the recording with them. And let's see what we have. Also, someone responded an outline of critical steps may be helpful. Follow the outline to hit the main points. Do we get PD credit from this session? Alexa, do you have an answer to that?
I think we have a lot of webinars within our library. So when you're searching for videos, you'll notice our Chief Academic Officer, Wendy Amato, who's just fantastic. She's uploaded a lot of webinar videos, and those are in the library. You can watch them, and the same thing. You would reflect on them and submit them for PD, either to your PD department within your district or the state level. So absolutely, I think this webinar would suffice as well.
So I did post the chat. I did post the link to the reflection questions that Alexa told us about. What I will also do when I send out the link to the recording, I will, in case you didn't get it from the chat, I will also send out the link to those reflection questions. So you can use those same questions for this video and any other videos that you watch on Teaching Channel to submit for PD credit. Does this work for North Carolina? So, Alexa, I don't know if you can speak specifically to North Carolina. I know every state has slightly different regulations for what counts as PD credit and how to get
it does. Yes, and unfortunately, I can't speak specifically to North Carolina. So I think the best option again is just to either, if you're in a district, speak with your PD director in that district, and or if you're not employed, speak to the state and see if that's something that you can utilize or use for PD credit.
So are any of the videos geared toward preparing teacher interviews or the hiring process? I don't think so. Alexa, do you? No?
No, we have specific themes. One of them is new teachers, and that's called the New Teacher Survival Guides. And so it's more about once you're hired and you're a brand new teacher, how to support you. But I don't believe we have anything that's for the interview process on the front end. But that's a great question and something we can think about adding to our repertoire and our library in the future.
Thank you. So Paige, I will say, I don't know if you were able to attend it or knew about it, but KDP did just host a workshop called Land the Best Teaching Job for You. I think that was the name of it. It was a career workshop with Dr. Samantha Fessage, and she talked about preparing for the teacher interviews, going through the hiring process, all of that. That is a recorded webinar, and I'm happy to share the link with you. And actually, I don't know whether I've done that yet, but I was planning to upload that video into Teaching Channel so that you can access it that way as well. Currently, it is on KDP's online community. But if you wanted to, I will make a note to myself, Paige Graham, and I will send you the recording of that. Let's see, what other? Okay, I will post the link again here. Just 1 second.
It looks like Cindy asked, do we have realistic bad teacher scenarios? And that's actually a question that we get asked quite often. And obviously, you know, we pride ourselves on offering best in practice videos to display. And I think a lot of teachers would shy away from wanting to be recorded and bad practices that's been put onto a national library. But I always respond with, there's always things that you can take away from a lesson that you could maybe tweak or improve. So no teacher is perfect. There's also videos that are older in our library too. So like I said, we've had videos from 2013, 2014. So some of the techniques that maybe they used then have evolved and changed and improved. So if you're looking at it that way, you know, I always tell people don't shy away from looking at videos with a critical lens and seeing how you can improve. I know AI is a hot topic in education right now. And I know at the KDP conference, one of the things that they had said with AI too is it's a great tool. And obviously, you know, but it's not perfect. And so if you're teaching students, why not have them write an essay using AI and then go back and critique the AI and see how they can even improve it better, or, you know, create improvements and perfect it even more. So it's a great way to look at our videos.
Good question. So I just posted the link again to the reflection questions that you can use for getting PD credit. And again, like I said, I will also send that link out to everyone when I send the link to the video. Let me see if there's anything else. Some people followed Alexa. If you're confused by why there's so many comments from Michelle Milani, I think I sent out a personal link from my account, and people that clicked on that link to join, they're showing up with my name instead of their own name. So it's a little bit confusing. Sorry about that.
Good to know.
Here's a question. End of the day, quick assessments as thumbs up, thumbs down will help see if students are comfortable with content and stay on track. Okay, that was responding to another participant's question. Okay, I don't see any outstanding questions. If you had a question and I scrolled past it without noticing it, you'd like to post it again, please do so. We've got a few more minutes. The state of Illinois, KDP is not an approved provider for PD. They said to contact KDP and have them register. So we have gone through that process, Avalon, in the past. Illinois is a particularly tricky state to get approved for PD. And it's not really, in terms of Teaching Channel, it won't really matter whether KDP is an approved provider. It matters whether Teaching Channel is. Alexa, do you know if Teaching Channel is an approved provider in Illinois?
I don't know about the state of Illinois either. No, that would be, again, just reaching out to either your district provider or state and asking them that question would be your best resource.
I remember when I looked into it before, when KDP had more online professional development, Illinois was a very difficult state to get approved as a PD provider. But in most cases, Avalon, you can still submit proof of professional development to your district and get approval for it, even if that it's not from an approved provider. Okay, what's the greatest tool we can bring into being a teacher from your experience?
That's a really good question. I would love to hear. I know we have a lot of teachers in the audience, so I'd love to hear what you guys think. Greatest tool. What is the greatest tool?
Laura Kuhn says compassion.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. I think compassion is so important.
Yeah, I think I'd mentioned that before, but yeah, in my mind, student always comes first. And if you're supporting them and, you know, sharing that love with them, then I think the rest follows. So yeah, compassion, kindness.
Building relationships, Carrie says, building relationships. I think that's so important. It goes along with compassion. Avalon says student-centered and care.
Yeah, I think joy too, you know, laughter, right? Not forgetting that sometimes school can get really serious because we as teachers can feel the pressure to meet benchmarks and make sure that students are continuing to improve and making progress. But sometimes we just forget that it's good to incorporate just fun and laughter too.
That old quote, they won't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. So true. So true. And that's not me posting that, by the way. That's somebody that logged in with my personal link. Asking questions before judging the iceberg. Sometimes what looks like a behavior can be something else going on that the student is needing. That I can tell that observation comes from experience. That's very good. It's just what's showing above the surface, and you're not seeing what's beneath the surface unless you take the time to look.
Yeah,
relationships, 100%. Kids come from various homes and even homelessness, and it only takes one teacher to impact not only their days, but their entire lives.
Self-care, that's a really powerful one. If you're not present, you can't be there for your students. And I think, again, teachers, you guys know all too well, you have a lot of pressures on your plate. If you're a parent, I have two littles at home too, you know, that stress is all too real. So making sure that at the end of the day, you also take care of you so that you can be your best self in the work world is really important. We actually do have a lot of great videos that talk about teacher self-care and that mental well-being and overall health and well-being too. So yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And actually, I'm going to pop a link in the chat here in case all of you are not familiar with The Rooted Teacher by KDP. It is a really amazing resource that we have for our members, a quality of life initiative for teachers for living their best lives in and outside the classroom. We have a coach, Cavalin Day, who does micro-learning videos, podcasts, and support groups that is all about self-care. It's all about taking care of you as the teacher so that you can be your best in the classroom with your students and at home with your family. So definitely check out that link. Thank you, Laura. She's off to tutor. Okay, Cindy asked, you have any videos or other resources about engaging students in hybrid or online teaching? Yes.
Yes, we do, because that was obviously a really hot topic, kind of flipped classrooms too, but the online learning and hybrid learning during COVID. So yes, we do. I know that we just captured some of that as well. So definitely check that out. And like I said, play around as you're searching for videos, play around with some of the wording. If it doesn't pop up right away, maybe reword it in a different way and use filter tools to find that.
And I am going to pop my email in the link here, michelle@kdp.org. If you guys have additional questions, or if one of your questions didn't get answered, or if you get into the Teaching Channel platform and you get stuck or you have questions about how to find something, please reach out. I am available to help, as is Alexa. So we are coming up on the last minute of time here. Let me see, was there any? No, that was a thank you. Thank you. So we really appreciate you joining us today, and please keep the questions going. Let me also pop one more link into the chat to our online community, KDP's online community. So if you haven't been there yet, please bounce over there and keep the conversation going with each other and with KDP national staff. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Good night. Bye, everyone. Stop recording.